Many people think that running a pro soccer club is really easy since they seem to have all the money in the world. Bringing new star players to the club every year and making it seem like nothing is just part of the story. In fact, it's a really tiny part of the story. Not many people realize how expensive it really is to run a club like Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Liverpool when you take into account all their expenses and liabilities. But that's when I come in. What's up, fans? It's Francisco from Footy RTA. On my channel, my goal is to give you guys an insight of the business side of things in the world of soccer. So if you guys are into that, please go subscribe right now. So today I'm going to give you guys a brief look and also hopefully answer your question on how much it really costs to run a top flight soccer club, and also give you an analysis of their financial statements. So for today's video, we're going to be using my favorite team, Real Madrid. For a long time now, Real Madrid have been recognized as the most valuable club in sports. And yes, while they do earn a lot, these earnings come with serious expenses to be able to maintain the club's prestige of big name players and world-class facilities like they have today. So like I mentioned, the club must also earn a lot of money to be able to pay for these expenses. So we're going to take a look at that right now. So taking a look at the club's operating income, which is the profit made after all deductions of operating expenses, you can see that the amount for 2019 is 7 times higher than it was in 1999. And this amount is 757 million euros. This is a significant increase, which shows you how much consumer consumption and other markets like broadcasting have grown over the years. To the left here, you can see the list of the top 16 Madrid players and their weekly salaries, with Hazard topping it off at 550,000 British pounds per year, or 638,000 euros. Like seriously, this guy makes so much money that he can afford to buy 63,000 Big Mac combos every week. Despite his high salary, however, Real Madrid can benefit greatly off of him, especially in marketing, since he is one of the top selling jerseys in the world. This is a clear demonstration of the marketing value each player can add to their team. If you guys want to learn more about marketing value and all that kind of stuff, I made a video previously, so I'll leave that down below in the description so you guys can go check it out. After a little bit of math, you guys can see that in total, those 16 players cost the club a total of 4 million euros per week. Not to mention Zidane's high salary of 12 million euros a year. I want to bring your attention over to this image right here, which are Real Madrid's 2019 liabilities compared to 2018. These are taken right off the club's website, which I'll link below in the description, so you guys can go take a deeper look into the financial statements if you want to. As you guys can see on the club's current liabilities section, the club saw an increase of 60% when it comes to payables for transfers. Of course, this is due to Real Madrid spending a lot of money over the transfer window this past summer with the signing of Eden Hazard, Jovic and Rodrigo, which in total cost the club over 200 million euros. The club was able to pay for these signings with other player sales, cash and loans. Another thing I want you guys to look at are the totals of assets and liabilities. For 2019, the club had more current liabilities than current assets. And of course, these are due to the big name player signings, as well as the biggest project in club history, which I'll get to it in a bit. Now, this isn't really a good sign, but considering their operating income, the club should have no problem in paying these off. If you guys are interested in how the transfer process works, leave a comment below and I'll surely do that because that sounds really exciting. Now, like I was talking about before, one of the biggest projects in club history has already begun to take place. Now this is of course the renovation of their stadium, the Santiago Bernabeu. This brand new look for the stadium is going to cost the club an insane 800 million euros. And I'm sure you're wondering, well, how exactly is that going to work? Isn't the club's net worth 800 million? Well, that's not exactly how it works. If we go back to the club's balance sheet, you can see that the liabilities were way higher, in fact, twice as high as they are in 2019. Because of this renovation. This tells us that the club is doing very well when it comes to paying off their debts. However, judging by the increase of 30,000 euros in accruals, you can definitely see that the financing rates for these assets is definitely impacted the club negatively. I'd be really interested to see how this recent pandemic will affect the payment of those accruals though. In the report analysis, the auditors mentioned that from 2018 to 2019, there's a 49 million euro increase in investment payables. They also say, to the obvious, that this was because of more investments made, and I think this is directly related to the big name player signings and the renovation project. On a positive note, however, the club was able to pay 58 million euros in debt worth of salaries payable. This debt, however, was not so much related to actual player salaries, but to player achievement award bonuses. How these work is that when a player reaches an agreement with the club of them reaching a certain milestone, for example like 20 goals, the club will pay them a small commission from their salaries on top of their weekly salaries for that achievement. Overall, I think that in order to maintain the prestige of the club, these expenses are usually gonna have to be made, even if it means spending more than your net worth on a new stadium. I like to view these expenses as rather investments because in the long term, they're gonna help the club generate tons of revenue. Anyways guys, that'll do it for today. I'd love for you guys to leave me feedback in the comments about the analysis, as well as if you guys want to see more analysis of more clubs, and also leave a like on the video if you thought this was insightful and answered all your questions you had before watching the video. And with that being said, thanks for watching and see you on Wednesday.